This is Gemara Baba Basra Daf Pei Aleph, and all the learning for this month of Elul has been generously sponsored by a close friend of the Daf, as Chos Aliyas Neshama, Professor Rizal Basra Meir B'Siyata D'Shemaya. The learning of the entire Chabura should bring Esther Rizal Basra Meir to an incredible place in Gan Eden Shalmaila, closer to the Kisei HaKavod B'Siyata D'Shemaya. We're holding on, Pei Aleph, Amid Aleph, and we begin a new Mishnah. HaKoinesh Shnei Ilanais. If someone buys two Ilanais, two trees, B'Seich Sadech Haverai, HaRizel Lo Yikana Karka. It should hopefully sound familiar as we had this quoted 10 blot ago. Someone buys two trees in his friend's field. He does not acquire the land in between the trees. Rabbi Meir Omer, he indeed is kaina karka. Higdilu, lo yishabe. Says the Gemara, what does it mean according to the Tanakama? They rina kaina de karka, that when the trees grow up, and now they're overextending the boundaries of the field, lo yishabe, you're not allowed to trim them. Ve'oile min agazeh shaloi min asherashim. And whatever grows from the trunk, whatever grows from the trunk, shaloi, belongs to the buyer. Minasharashim, that which grows from the roots, shabala karka, belongs to the owner of the land. Because again, in as much as you bought the tree, according to the Tanakama, you are not acquiring the land in between. Ve'emesu, and if the tree dies, ein loy karka, the buyer has no rights to the land. That's when you buy two trees. That's the sheet of the Tanakama. But says the Mishnah, kana shleisha, someone buys three trees, kana karka, and therefore all the aforementioned dinim do not apply, and rather igdilu, it grows over the boundaries. But you could trim it rather min hagazeh u min hasharashim, and that which grows both from the trunk and from the roots, shaloi, belongs to the buyer. V'mesu yesh loi karka. And if the trees die, the buyer indeed gets the karka. So the Mishnah explains the critical difference between, according to the Tanakama, of course. According to Meir, there is no difference. Even once you buy two trees, you get the karka. But according to Tanakama, when you buy two trees, you do not get the karka. Therefore, you cannot trim it, and you only get that which grows from the trunk. And the tree dies, you do not get the land. Whereas by three trees, you do. Says the Gemara, Tinan Hasam. We learned in the Mishnah and Bikurim, that's going to be very, very similar to that which you just learned. Someone who buys two trees, in your friend's field, you bring Bikurim, but you don't read the passage of Bikurim, the Parsha of Bikurim. Let's let the Rashbam speak out why lefish laikana karka. The halacha is you're not able to say that here are the bikurim of the fruit of the land that you Hashem have given to me. Why? Because you don't own the karka. Now the Rashbam points out the obvious kasha that everyone is right now wondering. We're going to ask, so why are you bringing the bikurim? If you're not able to say the parsha of bikurim, why are you bringing the bikurim? Okay, we'll get there in a moment. Rameir, maybe the kairei, you bring the bikurim, and of course you can read the parsha because Rameir holds that you indeed are kaina the karka. Amar Rav Yehuda, Amar Shmuel, Machayva Rameir. Rameir says you're obligated to bring bikurim, and you have to read the parsha bikurim. Ha'av belokech peiros min hashok. A chedesh. It's one thing to say that according to Rameir, when you buy two trees, you get the karka. But says Rav Yehuda Amar Shmuel, Rameir holds that even if you buy fruit, no karka, you buy fruit, you still, and you therefore for sure do not own the land. You still, says Rameir, Shmuel, according to Rameir, have to read the parsha of Bikurim. Now, according to Shmuel, that means that this din of Rameir has nothing to do with our Mishnah. Because our Mishnah, the whole pshat is that Koinish Shnei Karka, Rameir says you yes get the karka. If, according to the first way we quote the Mishnah Bikurim is a raya, because you read the Parsha Bikurim, that means you own the karka. But according to Shmuel, that's not true, because according to Shmuel, the reading the Parsha Bikurim is completely unrelated to owning the land. Says the Gemara, Mimai. From where do we know this from? Midiktani. From the fact that it says Mishnah Yisera. How does Shmuel know? Says the Gemara that even when you buy peiros according to Meir, you say the Parsha Bikurim. Says the Gemara, because we have this extra Mishnah Bikurim, that's where Shmuel learns it out from. And the Gemara explains Mechti. Tana leid yesh le karka pshita de vikari. According to our Mishnah, according to the one Meir holds that you get the karka when you buy 2 trees. Of course, you bring bikurim and you read it. Ella, so rather, what's the reason that we have another Mishnah Bikurim that teaches the same exact thing according to Meir, seemingly? Why is Meir saying this? As Shmuel al Shmamina Machayve Meir Avlakech Peiros Min Hashok. But now, okay, so the Gemara is explaining that according to Shmuel, there's an extra Mishnah. This extra Mishnah teaches this thing according to Meir. But the kasha is Shkoyach Mishnah. But where does he learn this from the Torah? V'oksiv. 8 lines on the bottom, Ashatavi Me'artzecha, says you bring from your land. This is clearly not Me'artzecha because you didn't own the land. How says Shmuel Lemutei Chutzlarts. That just comes to exclude bringing peiros from Chutzlarts. V'aksiv ad Mascha, Lemutei Adam Ha'akab belonging to a guy. V'aksiv Asher Nesata Li, Diavalei Zuzi, V'zavni B'hu. Says Shmuel, yeah, it says Asher Nesati Li, that you gave money and now it's yours. So that's the chiddush of Shmuel, that Bikurim, you're able to read the Parsha of Bikurim even if you don't own the land. Masiv Rabba, 3 lines on the bottom. He says the Raisa, you buy 1 tree, maybe veinoi koine, lefish loikone karka, Divri Rabbi Meir. Kasha and Shmuel. We see clearly when you don't own the karka, you don't read the Parsha Bikurim according to Meir. Says the Gemara that this is indeed a kasha to Yafta. Shmuel is wrong, and Meir will not allow you to read the Parsha Bikurim if you do not own the karka. Going back to the original day in Amalei, Rav Shimon ben Eliakam, Le Rav Elazar. Shimon ben Eliakam says to Rav Elazar's return over to pay Aleph Amid Peace. My time of the Meir. Ask Rav Shimon Elakam, where does this din of Meir come from? Says the Gemara, my time of the Meir, be'ilan echad, umay time of the Rabbanan b'shnei ilanais. What's the reason for Meir be'ilan echad that you say that you bring bikurim without saying the parsha? What's the reason according to the Rabbanan b'shnei ilanais that you bring bikurim without the parsha? What's the kasha? This is the kasha that the Rashbam pointed out in Amud Aleph. What is the purpose of bringing the bikurim if you can't say the parsha bikurim? Amar Lois, Rav Elazar responds, Davar sharishainim lo yamru botam teshaleni bebeis mejish kedei lebaysheni. The Rishainim didn't know the reasoning. Rameir the Chachamim, and you're asking me this to me in the Beis Medrash to embarrass me. Amar Rabba, so Rabba says, I don't understand. My kosha. Tell me Rameir bilan echad tzvukim misafkelu. Rabbanim sheilon tzvukim misafkelu. Says Rabba, I don't understand. What's so shvar over here? This is a classical suffix, and therefore, what do you do by a suffix? The chumrah you bring the bikurim, but you can't say the parsha. Why not? Because it's a suffix if you have a chiyuv. Says the Gemara, mi misafkele. Is that true? Is it really a suffix? 7 lines down. Rameir says straight up that the reason is because you don't own the karka. Says the Gemara, no, it just means because maybe you don't own the karka. That's why you don't read the Parsha Bikurim. So why do you bring it? The classical chumrah. Ask the Gemara, says the Gemara, 1 second. Says the Gemara. So now it's coming out based on what we just said. What is the reason? What is the reason that you're bringing the bikurim? A suffix, you're not sure if it's bikurim, so you bring it. Do you say the parsha bikurim? No. Why? Because you're not able to say the parsha bikurim. But I asked the Gemara, I don't understand. 1 second. Maybe it's not bikurim, and therefore you're saying a chumrah, quote unquote, that you're bringing it. Wait, you're bringing chulin lazar. You're not allowed to bring chulin to the Beis Hamikdash. Answers the Gemara, the makdish who you made them hektish, even if they're not bikurim, you let to bring them to the Beis Hamikdash. Says the Gemara, v'abay machlenu, but bikurim, the kohen has to eat. And if it's not bikurim, then the kohen is not allowed to eat it. Answers the Gemara, debarik lahu, that says the Gemara that these bikurim, when you bring it, you're not going to stop bring it. You're going to bring it. The kohen, the owner, is going to redeem it and then give it to the kohen, and therefore the kohen is allowed to eat it because it's not really bikurim. Says the Gemara, v'tel malav bikurim lu ve'kamafkilu mitruma umi meiser. So we have a different issue. Maybe they're not bikurim. The owner is bringing them as bikurim. But if they weren't being bikurim, there's a different din. It's a din of truma and meiser. It's a din that every 100 apples I take, I have to give 10% away. Truma, meiser, etc. And if I took these and set aside them as bikurim, they're not in my regular cheshbin of truma and meiser. Says Gemara, no, demafreshu. You also include them in truma and meiser l'chumra. Says Gemara, Bishlam and Truma Gedela Avle Kayin. Truma Gedela God, because you give it to the Kayin. Meiser Sheni Nami Yavle Kayin. So that's fine. But Meiser Ani Nami Yavle Kayin Ani. So and on that which you have to give away Meiser Ani, you're going to make sure to give this quote unquote potential fake bikurim to a Meiser Ani. The problem is to Kayin Ani. The Levi, the goes to the Levi. The man Yoav Le. What do you do in the Meiser Rishon? Answers the Gemara. Diav Le Lekayin. Kravlazav and Azariah. The Tanya went to the Brisa. Truma Gedela Lekayin. Meiser Rishon Le Levi. Divi Rabbi Akiva. Blaz ben Azariah. Omer Meiser Rishon. You're allowed to give af Lekayin. Says the Gemara says, maybe on the opposite side. Maybe it is Bikurin. Ubayi Kriya. And therefore, how you let her bring it without reading the Parsha Bikurim? Answers the Gemara, Kriya lo ma'akva. The reading of the Parsha is not ma'akif. Doesn't hold back the mitzvah Bikurim. Ask the Gemara, V'loi, V'amar Avzeu Klarai Labila and Abila Ma'keves Boy. Shedarai Labila Ma'keves Boy. And therefore, you should be having to read the Parsha of Bikurim. Says the Gemara, Davalek Rav Yisrael Chanina, 3 lines to the bottom. The Amar says Rav Yisrael Chanina B'tzarim V'shigam B'yad Shliach. If you have Bikurim and you send them in the hands of a Shliach, Umei Shliach, the Shliach dies on the way, B'darech, maybe Ve'enoi Kairei. Then whoever finds these Bikurim brings it, but he doesn't read the Parsha of Bikurim. So here we see that what? It's kosher even without the reading of Bikurim. Why? My time they'll say v'lakachta ve'vesa. You should bring the Bikurim. V'lakachta, you should take it ve'vesa. You should bring it. Ad shetehei, as we turn over to Beis Hamikdash for a moment. Lekicha v'hava ke'echad. V'hakiv hava le'echad. V'haleka. And therefore it is not. And that's the reason why over here you're not going to have to read the Parsha of Bikurim. And that's the reason, that's the raya that by us as well, that l'chomra, you were seeing that it's not so simple. We just learned to the beginning, just bring the bikurim. We've seen there's many steps. You have to redeem it when you give it to the kayin. You have to give l'chomra, truma, and meiser, etc., etc. Let's just finish up 2 lines to the top. Psuke ninu likraya. Says Rav Acha bar Avi Rav Ashi, I don't understand. It's psukim. What's the big deal? You're just saying Torah. Amar le, you know why? Looks like you're lying. Or 2 reasons why you can't see the Parsha Bikurim. Either because it looks like a sheker. What are you doing? You don't know if it's really Bikurim. How can you read it? And the second reason, it's a din d'Rabbanan that we're worried that you might not take off Chumas and Maisers like you have to. And therefore, we bedavka say, don't read the Parsha Bikurim. Pick it up from here. B'siyata d'Ishmaya.